Welcome everyone, this is Sumit from Team ClatPrep and we are back with the analysis of the mock 3 of the Score Booster series. Now basically in this session I will be going to discuss the questions which are given in the legal aptitude section of the SBS mock 3. I hope every one of you have performed well in the previous 2 mocks. Now we will be going to discuss the legal aptitude section of mock 3. So let's discuss this particular section. Now the first passage, again like the previous mock, this mock was also divided, like the legal aptitude section of this mock was divided into 8 passages. In all there were 40 questions which we will be going to discuss. Now passage 1, this is from the criminal law, and basically this passage deals with the defenses of the infancy, that is the defense of age, then incapacity and intoxication, insanity. So in all, section 84, section 82 and section 83 IPC has been discussed in this particular passage. So overall this passage was very easy one, not so difficult, and definitely the questions were also factual based and you can easily decide upon the questions. Let's start with question number 66 first. Now this question 66, it talks that a person went to a party and he consumed the alcohol. Now it is quite clear in this question that he was not forced to take the alcohol, neither any by deceptive means he was given the alcohol. So this consumption was a voluntary one, and definitely as per the passage, if you are having the intoxication in a voluntary manner, it will not act as a defense. So the best choice should be B, Bombay. That is, Sohan cannot take the defense of intoxication as he has voluntarily consumed the alcohol. देखिए बड़ा ही आसान सवाल था. फैक्ट में क्वाइट क्लियरली ये मेंशन किया हुआ है कि सोहन ने अपनी इच्छा से कंजम्पशन किया है, और अगर आप अपनी इच्छा से वॉलंटरी कंजम्पशन करते हैं तो उसके लिए आपको किसी तरह का डिफेंस लॉ में नहीं मिलेगा. Now question number 67. Now in this particular question, now basically this question deals with that if a child is below 12, so we are talking a age group of 7 to 12, whereupon we have to decide the criminal liability of a child. So we can say that if a child is mature enough to know the consequences, the transaction and the nature of the act, we can hold the child liable. अब देखिए यहाँ क्या हो रहा है, मैं थोड़ा सा शॉर्ट में आपको इसके क्वेश्चन का क्रक्स बता रहा हूँ कि प्रज्ञम, he is a child of 10 years, his father is a doctor. So what he do, that by using some kind of instrument, he decide to operate his younger sister, and while doing so, when he found that now the things are beyond control, तो वो क्या करता है कि अपनी sister को washroom में बंद कर देता है and he run away, and definitely he also threw the knife in a nearby park, and by digging a kind of a hole, so he hides the particular instrument, that knife. Now overall case, it is very suggestive that Pragyam as a child was mature enough to understand what he is doing. He tried to destroy he tried to escape from the liability by hiding the evidences. So this overall act of the Pragyam makes him liable under IPC. So the answer to the question number 67, it should be A, that Pragyam was well aware of his act and was mature enough to understand the consequences, hence no defense of infancy can be claimed. Now question number 68. Again the question number 68, it is on insanity. A particular girl or a lady, she has got a certain attacks of insanity where she understands nothing. However, it is also given in the question that in a particular interval or due to some intervals, she is of the sound mind and she behaves in a responsible manner. Now she is not insane. So one day when she was of sound mind, now this is the important part of this question, that while committing the act, she was of sound mind and she threw the particularly hot tea on the face of the neighbor. So जब शबाना ने अपना ये क्रिमिनल एक्ट किया, उस समय जो उनका जो स्टेज था, जो उनका जो सैनिटी था, that was of the sound mind, तो डेफिनेटली उन्हें ये डिफेंस ऑफ इंसैनिटी नहीं मिलेगा. So the perfect answer should be B, that is Bombay. Shabana is a person of unsound mind only at certain intervals. When she did an act of throwing tea, she was of sound mind and hence she cannot take the defense of insanity. So again, this question was a easy one. So question number 69. Now in this question, what is the story कि शिखर went to the college reunion party और वहां पे उन्हें ऑफर किया जाता है अल्कोहल पर वो मना कर देते हैं बिकॉज उन्हें ऐसा लगता है कि इट कैन बी डेंजरस बिकॉज ही वांट टू ड्राइव बैक होम सेफली. बट सिंस द फ्रेंड्स वर इन द मूड ऑफ द पार्टी, तो वो क्या करते हैं कि शिखर को बिना बताए उनके ड्रिंक के अंदर, हिज ड्रिंक वॉज स्पाइक्ड. स्पाइक का मतलब है कि बिना बताए, बिना जानकारी के ड्रिंक के अंदर कोई अल्कोहलिक सब्सटेंस मिला दिया. एंड ड्यू टू दिस शिखर हैज कंज्यूम दिस पर्टिकुलर जूस और अ ड्रिंक एंड व्हाइल ही वॉज गोइंग होम ही मेट विद एन एक्सीडेंट, और उन्होंने एक इंसान को टक्कर मार करके घायल कर दिया. आपको ये बताना है कि क्या यहां पे शिखर को डिफेंस ऑफ इंटॉक्सिकेशन मिल जाएगा. तो डेफिनेटली दिस पर्टिकुलर केस विल फॉल अंडर द कैटेगरी ऑफ इनवॉलेंट्री इंटॉक्सिकेशन विच इज अ डिफेंस इन आईपीसी. सो द आंसर शुड बी सी. Yes, as he did not consume the alcohol voluntarily and he was not aware of his drink has been spiked. Knowledge नहीं है, पता नहीं है, बिना जानकारी के अगर शिखर ने वो ड्रिंक कंज्यूम किया है बिना ये जानते हुए कि उसमें कोई भी अल्कोहलिक सब्सटेंस या कोई भी इंटॉक्सिकेटेड एलिमेंट हो सकता है, तो यहां पे उनका इंटेंशन मिसिंग था एंड डेफिनेटली ही विल बी हैविंग द बेनिफिट ऑफ द डिफेंस. Now question number 70. Now it was a very easy question because it is clearly given in the passage that any person who is below 7 will be in a category of dolly incapax, incapable to take judgment, and any child below 7 is fully exempted in IPC and no provisions of law apply on a child who is below 7. Now Aman, who is of 5 years, while going to school, he has conducted some kind of an activity by which some other students are injured, but as it is clearly given that Aman is of 5 years, he is coming under the exemption category in the IPC. So the answer should be D. No, Aman is not guilty as he is a child under the 7 years of age. Now the last question number 71 of this particular passage. यहाँ क्या है that X is a beggar and is suffering from the insanity. So it is clearly given that X is insane and he lives on the road and usually disturb people on the road. And one fine day he threw some stone on a person and that by this act that person was injured. But since X is an insane person, he can claim the defense of insanity. So answer should be A, apple. That is yes, as he was insane and he cannot understand the consequences of his act, so definitely he will not be held liable and X can take the defense of insanity. Now let's come to the next passage. Now this particular passage, it is based on the provisions of sedition under section 124A of the Indian Penal Code of 1860. It also refers in this particular passage the article 19(1)(a), freedom of expression, it has been referred and a case is particularly discussed along with the provisions of 124A. तो बहुत ज़्यादा डिफ़िकल्ट ये पैसेज नहीं था. एक्ट ऑफ सेडिशन काफ़ी टाइम से हम देख रहे हैं कि इसके ऊपर काफ़ी सारे आर्टिकल्स भी आ रहे हैं एंड यू ऑल मस्ट बी अवेयर बिकॉज यू आर रीडिंग जनरल नॉलेज ऑल्सो, करंट अफेयर्स ऑल्सो एंड डेफिनेटली इट इज़ द पार्ट ऑफ द लीगल नॉलेज ऑल्सो. नाउ लेट्स कम टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 72. The leader of opposition during his rally made a statement that a Prime Minister Sodi is an idiot and a corrupt politician. So this leader of opposition, he is commenting on a particular person, that is Mr. Prime Minister. Now the question is he guilty of sedition? So answer will be no, negative. Why? Because according to this passage, a sedition is a kind of an act towards the established government by the law and by which you are creating a disaffection against the government. So in this particular question, it can be a kind of an act of defamation, but not the sedition. So answer should be B for Bombay, no, as he has made a statement against the Prime Minister Sodi and not against the government. Now question number 73, which of the following amounts to sedition? So out of the four, it is very clear. देखिए पहला क्या है, this government is full of corrupted people. No, inducing people to cease to obey the law and lawful authority. So by the definition under section 124A of the IPC, it is quite clear that if you are creating any kind of a disaffection or you are raising the voice against the government to take any kind of violent action by which you want to overthrow the government or you want to induce the people to take a action in this particular respect, that will amount to sedition. So by following the passage, the question number 73, the answer should be B for Bombay. That is inducing people to cease to obey the law and the lawful authority. Question number 74, identify the incorrect statement. Now please do remember that the question says that you need to identify the incorrect statement. आपको यहाँ पे गलत statement चुनना है. देखिए कई बार जब हम लोग जल्दीबाजी में पेपर अटेम्प्ट कर रहे होते हैं, सेक्शन अटेम्प्ट कर रहे होते हैं, तो ये छोटी सी चीज हमसे मिस हो सकती है और कहीं आपने इसे करेक्ट पढ़ लिया तो ऑल टुगेदर योर क्वेश्चन कैन बी रॉन्ग. सो प्लीज ट्राई टू फॉलो द इंस्ट्रक्शंस इन अ केयरफुल मैनर. Now, out of these, like what is the incorrect statement? Statement A says that section 124 is a restriction on the fundamental right. Section this B part or the option B says that sedition shall be framed only when the alleged seditious speech or expression. C says that sedition is a way by which people can raise their voice against the government in a peaceful manner. Now this peaceful manner, it is incorrect. Why? Because in sedition you adopt any kind of a manner, a violent kind of a thing whereupon you are raising the voice against the established government. So out of all the options, C, sedition is a way by which the people can raise their voice against the government in a peaceful manner. It is a incorrect option. Now the next question, question number 75, it says that a novelist, while he was promoting, she was promoting the book, she made the statement that people of Kashmir should decide that whether they want to be the part of India or wish to remain independent. Now in this whole situation, basically what she is doing, creating a disaffection amongst the mind of the people, and she wants that they should raise the voice against the established government of India. So that will tantamount to sedition. So option C says that option C says that the novelist has created a feeling or of a hatred or contempt or incite disaffection towards the lawful government, and it is the part and parcel of the sedition which is given in the passage under section 124A. So question number 75, C for Calcutta, it will be the appropriate answer. Now the last question, 76 of this particular passage, decide if this statement amounts to sedition. This government is full of corrupted politicians. We should protest against the law they create on the country's name, but that actually is for their own profit. आपको ये बताना है कि क्या ये पर्टिकुलर चीज सेडिशन है? नहीं. देखिए अगर आप इस लैंग्वेज पे जाएंगे तो यहाँ पे कोई भी ऐसी चीज नहीं है जिससे आप कोई किसी तरह का वायलेंटली मॉब रेस करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं या कोई ऐसा तरीका अख्तियार करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं जिससे आप एस्टेब्लिश गवर्नमेंट के अगेंस्ट में किसी तरह का रिवोल्ट करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. तो द आंसर शुड बी नेगेटिव. क्वेश्चन नंबर 76, आंसर शुड बी बी फॉर बॉम्बे, दैट इज नो. Now this passage number 3, it talks about the medical termination of the Pregnancy Act of 1971, and the various aspects of this particular act they are discussed in this particular passage, like regarding like the purpose of this particular act and like when a person can go for the abortion and for the termination of the pregnancy as per the provisions of this particular act. Now although this passage pertains to the law, but the questions which were given in this particular passage, which are starting from question number 77 onwards, they were very factual, and you can easily find out the answers of these questions directly from the passage. So no such type of reasoning is used in these particular questions. So I will rate them easy one, a very easy one. So definitely all the 5 questions which are based on this particular passage, they were from the easy side. Now question number 77. Now it talks about a person who was brutally raped, and she is 21 weeks pregnant. Her doctor had diagnosed that the child will be born with a mental disability as the pregnancy occurred in a manner that is unfit for the murderer to carry this particular child. Now you have to decide whether Anita will be having any legal remedy. Now it is very clear and evident in this particular passage that if the medical board or if the mother who is pregnant and there is a particular substantial risk that if the baby is born, he or she will suffer from the serious physical or the mental disabilities, then definitely after 21 weeks also the termination of the pregnancy is possible and which is allowed by law. So our option C talks about the same, that yes, because the Medical Termination of the Pregnancy Act now allows abortion beyond 21 weeks, there is substantial risk that if the baby is born, he or she can suffer from the serious physical or the mental illness. So now the law says that in this particular condition, the lady can go for the termination of the pregnancy after 21 weeks also. So this question number 77, the answer should be C for Calcutta. Now question number 78. Now what this question says that you have to identify the correct statement. अब आपको यहाँ पे correct choose करना है. Correct statement with respect to the Medical Termination of the Pregnancy Amendment Act of 2021. So recently this act was in news because amendments were there. अब देखिए, अगर आप इस passage को पढ़ेंगे तो you can clearly identify that what are the two things which has been added as a part of the amendment in this particular act. They are given in option 2 and option 4. Option 2 says that allowed abortion beyond 20 weeks only in the special circumstances with the opinion of 2 doctors, and option 4 says that abortion beyond 24 weeks are allowed only in a special circumstances with opinion of a medical board. So these are the two things which are correct as per the new provisions of Medical Termination of the Pregnancy Amendment Act of 2021. So our two options 2 and 4, this particular combination is given in answer B for Bombay, which says that only 2 and 4. So question number 78, the answer should be B, question number 2 and option 2 and option 4. Now question 79. If Nana wants to terminate her pregnancy of 16 weeks as she is a single mother and cannot take care of the baby, she needs to. Now it is very evident from the fact that if the pregnancy is of 16 weeks, she needs to have the opinion of 2 doctors. So the answer to this particular question should be C, that she should have opinion of 2 doctors. Now question number 80. Now question number 80 says that Mohit and Alisha are husband and wife. Alisha and Mohit are separating and they have already filed for the divorce. Alisha is 25 weeks pregnant and she is under the acute depression and she has been told that baby would have severe abnormalities. Can she undergo abortion at this stage? अब देखिए, हमने प्रोविजंस में अभी डिस्कस किया था कि अगर 21 वीक्स के बियॉन्ड 24 वीक्स के बियॉन्ड का प्रेगनेंसी है और अगर आप उसे टर्मिनेट करना चाहते हैं तो मेडिकल बोर्ड का स्पेशल सर्कमस्टांसेस में आपको मेडिकल बोर्ड के ओपिनियन के बाद ही ऐसा करने की इजाज़त मिलेगी. एंड इन दिस पर्टिकुलर केस द सर्कमस्टांसेस आर दैट द डॉक्टर्स हैव टोल्ड to Alisha that if the baby is born, the baby could have a severe abnormalities. वो physical abnormalities भी हो सकती है, वो mental abnormalities भी हो सकती है. तो इस particular case के अंदर यहाँ पे medical board के opinion के बाद ये किया जा सकता है. तो question number 80 answer is B for Bombay. Yes, Alisha can undergo abortion only if the fetus has been diagnosed with the substantial abnormalities with the opinion of the medical board. Now, question number 81. Arya, an unmarried woman, terminate her 10 week of pregnancy. Will she be punished under the Indian Penal Code for the murder? No. Under the provisions of the Medical Termination of the Pregnancy Act, it is lawful and it is exception to the IPC. It is quite clearly given in this particular passage. So, question number 81, the answer should be B for Bombay. Now, the next passage, passage number 4, it is based on Indian Contract Act of 1872, and they are basically focusing on section 13, section 11, that is valid, the voidable contract, when a person is competent to contract, unsoundness of mind, consent, free consent. So the basic provisions which are ranging after section 10, 11, 12, 13 and 14, they are discussed in this particular passage. So the passage was moderate one, not so difficult to answer. So let's see the questions. Question number 82. All contracts are agreement, but all agreements are not contract decide. Now this statement is a very, a very genuinely asked statement in the various aspects of law. So अगर आपने थोड़ा बहुत भी हल्का फुल्का कॉन्ट्रैक्ट पढ़ा है और आप इस पैसेज से कोरिलेट करेंगे तो आप बड़े आराम से बता सकते हैं that this statement is correct because valid agreement make contract. So this statement that all contracts are agreement but all agreements are not contract, the perfect answer should be A, apple. Question number 82 answer is A. Now let's come to question number 83, that A offered X to sell his new Rado watch for rupees 10,000. X accepted the offer and they entered into a contract. But later on, X minor son B found out to be a fake Rado and with the knowledge of his father, he sold it to his friend O for rupees 8,000. तो यहाँ पे अब जो फर्दर सेल हो रहा है उस वॉच का, वो जो रेडो की वॉच है उसका जो फर्दर सेल हुआ है वो X के सन ने किया है जो कि माइनर है. अब चाहे वो एक्स की नॉलेज से हो या नहीं, पर सेल तो एक माइनर ने करी है एंड माइनर इज नॉट कॉम्पिटेंट टू एंटर इनटू अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एज पर द प्रोविजंस ऑफ द इंडियन कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट ऑफ 1872. तो यहाँ पे आंसर शुड बी कांट बी sued in any of the case because as he is being a minor he can't enter into a contract and he will not be liable. So if a person who is a minor can enter, if he or she enters into a contract, that is not enforceable by law, provided there are few exceptions also, but in this particular question the question is very straightforward. So the perfect answer to the question number 83, it should be C for Calcutta. Now question number 84, Akhil is a Rahul's boss. Rahul who desperately needs a promotion and an appraisal accept the Akhil offer to sell Akhil is land for a much lower value. तो यहाँ पे क्या कर रहा है, एक एम्प्लॉय अपने बॉस से एप्रिसिएशन लेने के लिए, प्रमोशन लेने के लिए अपनी जो जमीन है वो लोअर वैल्यू पे सेल करना चाहते हैं. आपको ये बताना है कि क्या ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वैलिड है, वॉइड है या वॉइडेबल है. सो एज पर द प्रोविजंस ऑफ द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट अंडू इन्फ्लुएंस हो रहा है यहाँ पे, ये वॉइडेबल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट होगा क्योंकि कंसेंट हैज बीन टेकन बाय यूजिंग the dominance. So while you are dominating the will of another person to give the consent, so a employee is under pressure that if he will not fulfill the wish of the boss, he will not get the appropriate salary or the promotion or the appraisal or the bonus. So this is not a consent which is a valid consent, it is not free consent. So the answer should be, it will be a voidable contract. ये आपने पढ़ा है पैसेज में बहुत साफ तौर पे दिया हुआ है that if the consent is not free then the contract will be voidable. So the answer to the question number 84 should be D for Delhi, that is the contract is a voidable one. Now let's come to question number 85. Harsh entered into an agreement with Mohan to buy the rice of rupees 3,000. Mohan sent Harsh 10 kg of Bengal rice. Harsh got furious looking at the rice and decided to sue Mohan on the ground that he wanted to have the basmati rice and he wanted 20 kgs. तो आपको बताना है कि यहाँ पे क्या ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वैलिड है. ये कॉन्ट्रैक्ट वैलिड नहीं है क्योंकि इट डिडंट स्पेसिफाई द क्वांटिटी एंड द क्वांटिटी ऑफ राइस इन इट. So definitely as per the provisions of the Contract Act is this particular question, the answer should be C for Calcutta, that this agreement is not a valid because it didn't specify the quantity and the quality of the rice in it. Okay? Now question number 86, it talks about a person who is not sane. Basically he is an insane person, and but the thing is that occasionally he is in the pure state of mind whereupon he can be a party to the contract. So Ronak is a lunatic who occasionally gets fits. While he was of a sound mind, he entered into an agreement with X. Now this line is important कि जब वो sound mind के थे तब उन्होंने कॉन्ट्रैक्ट किया. तो अगर वो साउंड माइंड के हैं और अगर वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में एंटर हो रहे हैं तो हमारा लॉ कहता है कि ही इज अ फिट पर्सन, ही इज अ कॉम्पिटेंट पार्टी टू एंटर इनटू अ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. So he will be liable because he has entered into a contract while he was of the sound mind. So question number 86, answer should be A for apple. Ronak will be liable because he was sound mind when the agreement was entered into. Now, let's come to passage number 5. This passage is based on a nuisance. The element of the nuisance is noise, and basically this passage basically it explains about the kind of nuisance, public, private, and the element of the nuisance, and then like when the provisions of the law can be used to decide and to punish a person on the various ground of the nuisance. This is the basic crux of this particular passage. Now, question number 87, that is the first question of this passage, is that the government has issued a tender for the construction of a national highway, Highway 34 connecting Surajpur to Firozabad, and a particular company is had started basically the construction, and they are facing a kind of a problem because due to this particular work the nuisance has been caused. आपको ये बताना है कि ये एक्ट है जो construction of the highway, whether it will be covered by the provisions of the nuisance or not. No, as it is quite clearly given in the question that if the things are being constructed by the sovereign authorities or by the statutory authorities for the larger good of the general public at a large, that particular disturbance will not be covered by the element of the nuisance. So यहाँ पे question number 87, the option D should be the perfect answer. No, as construction of NH34 serves the larger public interest. Therefore, any kind of a inconvenience caused due to this particular situation created during the construction of NH cannot be any ground to take a stay on this particular construction. So it will not be the element of the nuisance. Now, question number 88. Sangam apartment, a residential society in the Dwarka West, was constructed in 1980 and about 50 families are right now residing in this particular society. आपको बताना है यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है कि 2010 में दिल्ली गवर्नमेंट ने एक नया कंस्ट्रक्शन किया और एक नया प्रोजेक्ट स्टार्ट किया मेट्रो का, और सेंशन प्लान के हिसाब से जो मेट्रो का द्वारका वेस्ट स्टेशन था वो संगम अपार्टमेंट के मेन गेट से बाहर ही बनना डिसाइड हुआ है. एंड when the metro started running, the residents, the persons who are residing in this Sangam apartment, they realized that there are the vibration in the house at the very arrival of the train. तो आपको ये बताना है कि क्या ये हमारे लिए एक न्यूसेंस का ग्राउंड नॉइज के टर्म्स में बन सकता है, डिस्टर्बेंस के टर्म्स में बन सकता है. तो ये बहुत ही क्लियर है पैसेज से कि यस, इट कैन बी अ ग्राउंड फॉर अ न्यूसेंस फॉर अस बिकॉज इट इज अ कंटिन्यूअस एंड अ डेली एक्टिविटी एंड द प्रॉब्लम इज बीइंग फेस्ड बाय द रेजिडेंट्स एवरी डे. सो द आंसर टू द क्वेश्चन नंबर 88 इज लाइक इट शुड बी इन द पॉजिटिव यस. तो यस से पहला ऑप्शन पढ़ते हैं. They can approach the executive magistrate seeking the certain conditional order such as compensation. बिल्कुल, the provisions are being quite clearly given in this particular passage. But there is one more option which start with yes. So let's evaluate this option also. Now this option says that yes, they can approach the executive magistrate seeking conditional order such as the direction to reduce the vibration and noise pollution by using the scientific methods and the technology. Yes, this can also be done. So basically our option A and B, if we compile them together, we get a better option, we get a better answer. So definitely our answer should be both A and B. So option C talks about both A and B. So our answer is option C. Question number 89. Now 89 says that Shashwat has constructed a house in Kashmir Valley. Thereafter Shashwat started constructing a fence around the land by building a boundary wall, and the army has got some kind of a problem due to this because it has obstruct the drainage of water around it. कि उनके फेंसिंग करने से बाहर का जो ड्रेनेज सिस्टम है वो चौक हो गया, वो ब्लॉक हो गया. तो क्या यहाँ पे आर्मी को पावर है इस कंस्ट्रक्शन को रोकने का? अब आपको बेसिकली यहाँ पे ये डिसाइड नहीं करना है कौन सही है या कौन गलत है. देखिए, इस क्वेश्चन में बेसिकली आपसे लॉफुली पूछा गया है कि एक इंसान कंस्ट्रक्शन कर रहा है, वो अपनी प्रॉपर्टी के चारों तरफ फेंसिंग कर रहा है और ऐसा करने से आसपास का जो ड्रेनेज सिस्टम है वो अफेक्ट हो रहा है, वो ब्लॉक हो रहा है. तो आर्मी ने वो काम बंद करवा दिया. तो आपको बताना है कि क्या यहाँ पे जो आर्मी का एक्शन है वो जायज है, क्या वो लीगल है. तो देखिए, क्लियरली ये मेंशन्ड है कि पब्लिक न्यूसेंस के केस में द कंस्ट्रक्शन, इफ द कंस्ट्रक्शन इज देयर एंड इफ यू वांट टू stop that particular construction on account of the public nuisance, then section 133 of the criminal procedure code CRPC के section 133 को आपको इन्वोक करना पड़ेगा, उसकी सहायता आपको लेनी पड़ेगी. section 290 of the IPC talks about the nuisance and section 133 CRPC gives you a remedy. So the answer is that army doesn't have a power to stop, but if you want to stop, that can be done by using the provisions of section 133 of the CRPC. ठीक है, so question number 89, the answer should be D, Delhi. Question number 90th. Now, Vinay and his family reside on the 7th floor of a residential apartment, and during Deepavali, the Honorable Supreme Court has banned bursting of all the kinds of firecracker. However, on the eve of Deepavali, Vinay's family burst cracker in the common room of the common area of the 7th floor without the permission of the neighbors. और इस कारण से पड़ोसियों को परेशानी हो रही है, नॉइज पॉल्यूशन, एयर पॉल्यूशन हो रहा है. क्या विनय का एक्शन किस में फॉल करेगा? क्या ये न्यूसेंस है? बिल्कुल है. कि ये किस तरह की न्यूसेंस है? क्योंकि केवल पड़ोसी को परेशानी हुई है, तो इट विल बी अ केस ऑफ प्राइवेट न्यूसेंस. सो क्वेश्चन नंबर 90, द परफेक्ट आंसर शुड बी बी फॉर बॉम्बे. इट वाज अ वेरी इजी क्वेश्चन. Now, question number 91. In a civil city park of a Mumbai, a birthday celebration was taking place. अब देखिए, पार्क में सेलिब्रेशन हो रहा है, तो ये पब्लिक अफेयर हो गया. Loud music was played with a permissible limit of 10 decibel. As per the law, loudspeaker cannot be used between 10 to 6. However, the DJ continued to play music on a loudspeaker till 12. अब देखिए, पर साथ में वो 5 डेसिबल पे भी प्ले कर रहा है. अब देखिए, permissible limit in terms of the noise pollution is given 10 decibel, but again this 10 decibel, it should be in a range in the parameter of 10 to 6, 10 PM to 6 AM ये दिया हुआ है. पर यहाँ पे 12 बजे 12 AM पे ये काम चल रहा है, तो ये लॉ में अलाउड नहीं है. 6 बजे के बाद, सवेरे 6 बजे के बाद आप ऐसा नहीं कर सकते. ऐसा 10 से 6 के बीच में आप इन्हें यूज नहीं कर सकते. तो हमारा ये जो टाइम ब्रैकेट है, चाहे आप इस पे कम वॉल्यूम पे भी प्ले कर रहे हैं, पर आपका जो एक्ट है वो पब्लिक न्यूसेंस की कैटेगरी में आएगा. तो आंसर होगा ए, पब्लिक न्यूसेंस. Now, passage number 6. Now, this particular passage, it is based on the family law. The marriage under the Hindu law is treated. थोड़ा सा हिंदू लॉ के बारे में इसमें बताया गया है. देन फर्दर द प्रोविजंस ऑफ द आईपीसी रिगार्डिंग दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग दे आर गिवन. सेक्शन 494 बायगमी के ऑफेंस को बताया गया है, और मैरिज से रिलेटेड कुछ प्रोविजंस को डिस्कस किया गया है. ठीक है, अब देखिए इस पे जो पहला क्वेश्चन है कि फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज, कविता इज अ 26-year-old हिंदू फीमेल. शी वॉज मैरिड टू जेठालाल, 30-year-old हिंदू मेल इन कानपुर, यूपी. Now, Kavita, she was working with the MNC where she meet Albert. Now, this Albert is a 35-year-old Hindu male. So, don't get confused by the name. It is quite clearly, crystal clearly, it is given that he is a Hindu male. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर जो Albert हैं, वो Hindu male है. Now, let's come to passage 6. Now, this passage 6, it talks about the marriage under the Hindu law, Hindu Marriage Act 1955. यहाँ पे डिस्कस किया गया है, along with the provisions of section 494 of the IPC, which talks about the offense of the bigamy, and the various other provisions of the IPC regarding the marriage. They have been discussed in this particular passage. So let's come to the question. Question number 92. Now, कविता एक 26-year-old मेल है, और इनकी शादी हुई है एक हिंदू मेल से कानपुर में. कविता, शी इज वर्किंग इन एमएनसी, और इस एमएनसी में एक और इंसान से उनकी मुलाकात होती है, एल्बर्ट से. नाउ डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज बाय द नेम. दिस एल्बर्ट इज ऑल्सो अ हिंदू मेल. इट इज क्लियरली गिवन इन द क्वेश्चन. नाउ शी इज इन लव विद दिस पर्टिकुलर पर्सन एल्बर्ट, और ये उनसे शादी कर लेती हैं. आपको ये बताना है कि क्या कविता लायबल हैं आईपीसी के किसी प्रोविजन में. नाउ इट इज क्लियरली मेंशन्ड इन द आईपीसी सेक्शन 494. इट टॉक्स अबाउट द बायगमी, कि अगर आपकी पहली मैरिज चल रही है, तो ड्यूरिंग द फॉलोएंस ऑफ द फर्स्ट मैरिज, ड्यूरिंग दिस पर्टिकुलर कंडीशन, यू कैन नॉट गो for the second marriage or for the multiple marriages. It will be a offense of bigamy. So Kavita will be liable for the offense of bigamy, as even though second marriage is legally solemnized as per the requirement of the Hindu Marriage Act, but शी हैज अ स्पाउस लिविंग एट द टाइम ऑफ द मैरिज। जब तक आपकी पहली शादी टर्मिनेट नहीं होती है तब तक आप सेकंड मैरिज में नहीं जा सकते एज पर द प्रोविजंस ऑफ द मैरिज एक्ट। तो यहां पे जो कविता है उन्होंने सेक्शन 494 आईपीसी के अंदर बाइगमी का ऑफेंस एस्टेब्लिश कर दिया है। Now question number 93, which of the following is true? Again, now which of the following is true regarding section 13 of the Hindu Marriage Act of 1955? आपको ये बताना है कि इनमें से अगर हम 13 सेक्शन को पढ़ें, सेक्शन 13 ऑफ हिंदू मैरिज एक्ट ऑफ 1955 को पढ़ें तो इनमें से कौन सी चीज सही है। बहुत ही स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड क्वेश्चन था, तो अगर आप इस पैसेज को पढ़ेंगे तो आपको बड़े आराम से पता चल जाएगा कि सेक्शन 13 बात करता है, इट लेज डाउन द ग्राउंड्स ऑफ द डिवोर्स विच कैन बी इवोक्ड बाय आइदर ऑफ द टू पार्टीज दैट इज हस्बैंड एंड वाइफ। यानी ये सेक्शन 13 हस्बैंड एंड वाइफ को वो तरीके बताता है, वो रीजंस बताता है जिसके बेसिस पे वो लोग डिवोर्स सीक कर सकते हैं। क्वेश्चन नंबर 93, द आंसर शुड बी बी फॉर बॉम्बे। Now question number 94. Now Karthik marries Priya in Mumbai and they are living together for 4 years, after which she shift to New Delhi for his business, or due to some the kind of a differences between them धीरे धीरे उनकी बातचीत होना बंद हो जाती है प्रिया के साथ, और 10 साल के बाद जो कार्तिक है वो दिल्ली में सोनाली से शादी कर लेते हैं, ये मानते हुए कि अभी तक 10 सालों में प्रिया ने भी किसी और के साथ भाग करके शादी कर ली होगी या वो उनसे कांटेक्ट में ही नहीं है। नाउ अभी इन्होंने अपनी फर्स्ट मैरिज के बारे में सोनाली को नहीं बताया है, यानी सोनाली को नहीं पता है दैट कार्तिक हैज बीन मैरिड एंड हिज वाइफ इज स्टिल इन दिस वर्ल्ड। ठीक है, क्या कार्तिक 494 में बाइगमी के लिए लायबल माने जाएंगे? तो बिल्कुल लायबल माने जाएंगे, क्योंकि कार्तिक इज लायबल वाई, बिकॉज क्योंकि उन्होंने सबसे पहले तो रियल फैक्ट नहीं बताए हैं सोनाली को अपनी प्रीवियस मैरिज के बारे में, और हमें कहीं से भी ये नहीं पता कि बेसिकली प्रिया का स्टेटस क्या है। लाइक अगर वो नहीं रहती हैं, अगर उनकी डेथ हो जाती है या कोई और रीजन होता है और 7 years हैज बीन पास्ड, तो हम ये कह सकते हैं, जो कि सेक्शन 13 के अंदर डिवोर्स के ग्राउंड हैं, पर अभी तक ऐसा कोई डिवोर्स क्लेम नहीं हुआ है, एंड बोथ ऑफ देम although they are living apart but still they will be considered to be husband and wife, so it will be a offense of bigamy under section 494 of the IPC committed by Karthik. Now question number 95, Jaspreet a Sikh female marries Rakesh a Brahmin male, which of the following situation mentioned below holds untrue as per the Hindu Marriage Act? आपको बताना है इनमें से untrue क्या है। तो अगर आप ये पढ़ेंगे इस पैसेज को तो it is quite clear and it is very easy to deduct that if Jaspreet and Rakesh accept each other in front of the society as husband and wife, it will be a valid marriage. So this was also a easy question which doesn't require any further discussion. Now question number 96, which of the following is not true regarding the marriage under the Hindu Marriage Act? आपको ये बताना है कि इनमें से कौन सी चीज not true यानी कि false है। Marriage is a sacrament that has been to be performed by following rites. It is true. Marriage is a form of a contract and a formal obligation under Hindu law. No, it is not true. Monogamy is essential to Hindu marriage and marrying for the second time. This is also true. A decree of divorce can be obtained. This is also true. Option B, it is false. So it is not true. So question number 96, the answer should be B for Bombay. Now let's come to the next passage. Now this next passage number 7, it's a general passage which talks about the liability of a person who is manufacturing the goods, the general liability, a kind of a negligence, and the duties which are to be required to be performed while you are selling the goods from one party to another. So it was not exactly a passage which was from the contract, but it is a general passage pertaining from the stream of law. Not so difficult. Maybe it is lengthy, but not so difficult. Now question number 97, as per the reasoning of the author, open community norms would be applicable. Like open community norms, it is given in the question that they are applicable in every of the case of shipping of goods from one place to another. So all these norms, they are applicable in any of the case. So there is no differentiation in the cases. that on this particular case these norms are applicable or on this they are not. So they will be applicable in all the cases of shipping of goods from one place to another. So question number 97, the correct answer should be A for apple. A. क्वेश्चन नंबर 98, SRIM मेक्स अ सेल हेल्थ केयर सप्लीमेंट। अब देखिए यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है कि SRIM जो है उन्होंने सेरम एक्स बना करके बेचा और उन्हें पता है कि इस सेरम एक्स के साइड इफेक्ट्स हैं और ये पूरा का पूरा बैच इन्होंने ब्रिम को बेचा और उसे बता दिया कि भाई ये साइड इफेक्ट्स हो सकते हैं। ब्रिम ने आगे ये क्रिम को बेचा पर उन्होंने साइड इफेक्ट्स के बारे में नहीं बताया और अगर क्रिम को कोई नुकसान हुआ जैसा कि इस क्वेश्चन में हो रहा है तो आपको यह बताना है क्रिम्स यूज द SRIM फॉर द नेग्लिजेंस ड्यू टू विच ही हैज सफर्ड इंजरीज, विल SRIM बी लायबल? यस, SRIM इज लायबल बिकॉज एज अ मैन्युफैक्चरर he owed a duty of care with respect of his product being sold to buyers। अब देखिए ये इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है कि आगे प्रोडक्ट रीसेल हो रहा है या फर्स्ट पार्टी इसे कंज्यूम कर रही है। इंपॉर्टेंट ये है कि ये पर्टिकुलर पैसेज आपकी ड्यूटी अंडर लॉ असाइन करता है दैट इफ यू आर मेकिंग और मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एनीथिंग विच कैन बी डेंजरस, द यूजेस आर डेंजरस, देन इट इज द ड्यूटी ऑफ द मैन्युफैक्चरर, द लेटेंट पर्सन हु इज डूइंग द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट to make aware of these things to all the persons to whom they are selling the product. So 98 answer should be A. Question number 99. In the above question, suppose SRIM had written on a bottle not for resale, would he be liable then? यानी अब आप क्या कह रहे हैं कि आपने बॉटल पे तो लिख दिया कि ये रीसेल के लिए नहीं है, यानी बेसिकली क्या हो रहा है कि SRIM ने ये ब्रिम को बेचा तो ये ब्रिम को ये कहना चाहते हैं कि अब आप क्रिम को सेल नहीं कर सकते, पर केवल इतना लिखने से यू कैन नॉट अबॉलिश, यू कैन नॉट डेविएट फ्रॉम योर ड्यूटी टू मेंशन द डेंजरस नेचर ऑफ द प्रोडक्ट। सो इवन इफ इट इज रिटन ऑन द बॉटल दैट इट इज नॉट फॉर रीसेल, देन ऑल्सो द SRIM विल बी लायबल। सो क्वेश्चन नंबर 99 आंसर शुड बी ए। क्वेश्चन नंबर 100, अब ये 98 के रेफरेंस में चल रहा है दैट इन क्वेश्चन 98 सपोज आफ्टर द केस गोज टू द कोर्ट देयर इज अ लॉट ऑफ मीडिया अटेंशन गिवन टू इट एंड दो ऑल द मीडिया इन द न्यूज चैनल पीपल इवेंचुअली बिकम अवेयर ऑफ द सेरम एक्स एंड द साइड इफेक्ट देन विरम बाय द सेरम। तो आपको यह बताना है कि विरम्स अगर उसके बाद साइड इफेक्ट्स जानने के बाद, यानी कि अब पूरे जगत में चर्चा हो रही है, हर तरफ उसके बारे में बात हो रही है, साइड इफेक्ट्स के बारे में बात हो रही है और ये सब के बाद भी जो विरम हैं उन्होंने वो सेरम एक्स लिया क्योंकि अभी भी उन्हें तो SRIM ने नहीं बताया है, तो आपको ये बताना है कि क्या अब SRIM लायबल होंगे? तो आंसर होगा नहीं, सिंस विरम शुड बी रीजनेबली एक्सपेक्टेड टू नो ऑफ द साइड इफेक्ट बाय the kind of the things, the information which is floating in the market. Now everyone knows about this particular product and the dangerous nature. So if by knowing this the VRIM is using this thing, so caveat emptor will apply. So let the buyer be aware, and the VRIM is like cannot have a legal remedy against the SRIM. So question number 100, the answer should be A for apple. Now question number 101, in question 98 again, this is also in the respect of question 98. Suppose SRIM writes on a bottle only buy from the registered SRIM agents and BRIM not being a registered SRIM agent sell it to CRIM without informing him of the side effect. आपको बताना है क्या SRIM यहाँ पे लायबल हैं? तो नहीं, यहाँ पे SRIM इसलिए लायबल नहीं है क्योंकि अब आपने वो प्रोडक्ट किसी ऑथराइज्ड आइडेंटिटी से लिया ही नहीं है and it is clearly mentioned on the bottle that this is only allowed to be resale or to be sale by the authorized persons only. So if you are taking the product from any of the vendor or by any of the person who is not authorized, then the liability of the seller will be resolved. So it will he be liable? No, he will not be liable, since he is absolved of the liability where it is not sold by the registered SRIM agent. Now the last passage number 8, it talks about the criminal petition, the taking of the bail. Again, it's a general passage and which talks in the terms of the marriage and the law related to the marriage, the process and the wrongful restraint of the marriage. So it's a general passage based on law which basically talks about that द स्पेशल लॉज लाइक यहां रेफर किया गया है पॉक्सो, चाइल्ड मैरिज रेस्ट्रेन एक्ट, जनरल पीनल कोड, ये सुपरसीड करते हैं आपके पर्सनल लॉ को. तो इन केस लाइक इफ यू आर कमिटिंग अ ऑफेंस इन स्पेशल लॉ एंड वहां आपको एग्जेम्पशन है जनरल लॉ में या आपके पर्सनल लॉ में एग्जेम्पशन है, तो वो एग्जेम्पशन आपकी काम नहीं आएगी क्योंकि यहां पे जो स्पेशल लॉ है वो प्रिवेल करेगा. दिस इज द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर पैसेज. अब देखिए पहला क्वेश्चन है, थोड़ा सा लेंदी है, मैं आपको वैसे ही समझा देता हूं. दैट एक 15 साल की बच्ची है एंड शी इज रिलेशनशिप विद अ बंदा 21 ईयर ओल्ड कॉलेज ग्रेजुएट and their parents are also having the information regarding this particular relationship and they are ready to convert this particular relation into a permanent relation by the way of the marriage. and आपको ये बताना है कि क्या यहां पर क्वेश्चन चालू हो रहा है that the marriage is solemnized as per the Hindu rites and custom. Ganda, a friend of Banda, is also present and he finds that it is quite immoral that they are marrying in this manner. He initiates a criminal proceeding under Banda for marrying and having sex with Chanda. Is Banda liable? Yes, he is liable because as per the special provisions of the law, the Child Marriage Restraint Act, the girl is not in a marriageable age, so he is liable. So the Banda, the boy will be liable if he has a sexual intercourse with the Chanda and for the marriage. दोनों ही कामों के लिए इनको liable माना जाएगा क्योंकि यहाँ पे आपका पर्सनल लॉ प्रिवेल नहीं करेगा, आपका कस्टम प्रिवेल नहीं करेगा, यहां पे आपका स्पेशल लॉ प्रिवेल करेगा. नाउ क्वेश्चन नंबर 103, अगेन अ स्टूडेंट, अ कॉलेज स्टूडेंट, शी वाज ऑफ 19, शी वाज अबडक्टेड and she was taken to an unknown location and she was raped. So again she filed a complaint and accused was produced before the court, and when she has got the knowledge that the accused is his boyfriend only. Now the thing is that although she cannot forgive the accused, but she doesn't have any kind of a objection and she don't want that his bail should be rejected. So as per the provisions of 164 criminal procedure code, क्या यहाँ पे जो कंदा हैं जिन्होंने ये पर्टिकुलर ऑफेंस किया है, इनके बेल को एक्सेप्ट किया जाएगा या रिजेक्ट किया जाएगा? देखिए विक्टिम को कोई भी यहाँ आपत्ति नहीं है. विक्टिम डजंट हैव एनी काइंड ऑफ ऑब्जेक्शन रिगार्डिंग द bail application of the accused. So as per the provisions of 164 section 164 criminal procedure code, the bail will be given. So will he be denied bail? No, since the victim of the crime herself has stated under section 164 that she doesn't have any objection granting him bail, so the bail will be given to the accused. So question number 103, the answer should be B for Bombay. Question number 104. Now again it's a very simple question. Why, as per the reasoning in the passage and with reference to question number 102, was marriage not valid? Yes, it was not valid because it was a violation of the special law, that is the Child Marriage Restraint Act. It is evidently given in the question. And the last question for this particular passage and for this particular legal aptitude section of the mock 3 of the score booster series is question number 105. Shiv is a satanist who is in love with his sister Bhiv. They have a sexual relationship with each other and they wish to get married. However, their relationship is frowned upon in society, and further both marriages and having children with a relative is illegal as per the special law of Anti-Incest Act in the country. However, their religions जो satanism है, it allows relative to marry their blood relative. Choose the most appropriate option. Now there is a special law which prohibits the act of Shiv and they cannot have a family together. So the special law will supersede any kind of a personal law. यहां पर्सनल लॉ क्या है सैटानिज्म में जो दिया हुआ है, पर यहां पे एक स्पेशल लॉ भी है जिसका रेफरेंस इस क्वेश्चन में आ रहा है. तो आंसर होगा दे कैन नॉट गेट मैरिड एंड हैव द किड्स, यानी उनकी शादी नहीं हो सकती और ना वो इस शादी के बाद किसी भी तरह से रिप्रोडक्शन करके बच्चे पैदा कर सकते हैं. तो यहां पे क्वेश्चन नंबर 105, द मोस्ट अप्रोप्रिएट चॉइस शुड बी ऑप्शन सी, दे कैन नॉट गेट मैरिड and have kids because the special law will supersede the particular personal law of their particular community. So with this question we have discussed the entire all the 8 passages given in the legal aptitude section of mock 3 of the SBS series. Thank you.